Interpretation of verse 204 of Surah Al-Baqarah. It is narrated from the words of Aisha that the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Verily, the most hated of people for Allah is an irreconcilable disputer." This hadith was narrated by Ahmad, Muslim, at Tirmizi, and Nasai and others. Interpretation of verse 207 of Surah Al-Baqarah. It is reported that Ikrimah said, when Suhaib made Hijra, the Meccans followed him. Then he took out 40 arrows from his quiver and said, "By the time you get to me, I will have time to pierce each of you with one arrow, and then I will take up the sword. But you know that I am a man, and I left 2 slaves in Mecca. Take them for yourself." And then the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, sent down a revelation. Among the people there is one who sells his soul, hoping to gain the pleasure of Allah. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the blessings of Allah, saw him, then said, "Abu Yahya, trade has brought you profit." Then he recited this verse to him. This hadith was narrated by Al-Hakim, calling it authentic according to the requirements of Muslim. And although most of the versions of the hadith are sent out, they reinforce each other and confirm its veracity. Interpretation of verse 208 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Al-Sadi wrote, Almighty Allah ordered the faithful to accept Islam in its entirety, to fulfill all the prescriptions of religion, and not to abandon some of them. A Muslim should not be like those who deify their own desires, carry out God's commands when they match their desires, and refuse to do them when they do not match their desires. A Muslim is obliged to subordinate his desires to the requirements of religion and perform all the righteous deeds that he can. If he is unable to fulfill part of the instructions, then he must have a firm intention to fulfill them at the first opportunity that presents itself, and thanks to his intention he will make up for the omission. Interpretation of verse 224 of Surah Al-Baqarah. It is reported that Abu Musa al-Ash'ari said that one day he, along with several people from the tribe of al-Ash'ar, came to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and asked him to provide them with riding animals. He said, "By Allah, I will not let you riding animals. I have no animals for you to ride." After some time, 3 camels with white humps were brought to him, and he made us sit on horseback. As we set off, one of us said, "By Allah, this will not do us any good." When we came to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and asked him to provide us with riding animals, he swore that he would not put us on horseback, and then did so. Let's go back to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and remind him of this. When they returned to him, he said, "It was not I who made you sit on horseback, but Allah made you sit on horseback. I swear by Allah, if I swear to do something, and then I see that it is better to do otherwise, and if it is the will of Allah, then I atone for perjury, and do what is better, or do what is better, and then atone for perjury." This hadith was narrated by Ahmad, Al-Bukhari, Muslim, and Ibn Majah, and its text is given according to the version of Al-Bukhari.